Hello, everyone. This is Dr. James Koshar of Valley College, your instructor for Management 103, Principles of Management for week 3. Hope you're doing well. I'm going to go over chapters 11 through 14 here for you right now. Once again, we're in week 3. If you have any concerns, questions, problems, you got to reach out. Let me know, okay? All right, let's get started. Chapter 11 is marketing, building profitable customer connections. You talk about what's marketing. It's an organizational function and a set of processes for communicating, and delivering value to customers, and for managing customer relationships in a way that benefit the organization and its stakeholders. And utility is the ability of goods and services to satisfy customer wants. Again, you'll want to go over chapter 11, read the areas there. I'm just going over the high points here that you'll want to look at too. A term you'll hear a lot is CRM. What is that? It's customer relationship management. It's the ongoing process of acquiring, maintaining, and growing profitable customer relationships by delivering unmatched value. You also want to know about customer satisfaction, customer loyalty, a marketing plan. It's a formal document that defines marketing objectives, and a market segmentation that's dividing potential customers into groups of similar people or segments. Again, read over chapter 11. It talks about what a target market is, the group of people who are most likely to buy a particular product. Also, terms that you might have heard recently is consumer markets known as business to consumer, or B2C, or B2B, which is business marketers known as business to business. Some more terms of note: demographic segmentation, geographic segmentation, psychographic segmentation, behavioral segmentation, all have to do with dividing markets into smaller groups, either on measurable characteristics, which would be demographics, or where people live, geographic, psychogrammic, their attitudes, their interests, and behavioral, how people behave towards various products. You can read about that. Again, you'll want to go through chapter 11 and read these terms. Again, I'm hitting the high points. Business buyer behavior describes how people act when they are buying products to use either directly or indirectly to produce their products. A part of this is conducting marketing research, which is gathering, interpreting, and applying information to uncover opportunities. So you'll want to know that. And that's our little Pomeranian Roscoe barking because his mama came home. He's going down the steps now to meet my wife, his mother. Chapter 12 is product and promotion, creating and communicating value. What's a product? Anything that an organization offers to satisfy customer needs and wants. You know that, what a product is. What are consumer products, though? Products purchased for your personal use or consumption. Business products purchased to use either directly or directly in the production of other products. Again, you'll want to read over chapter 12, know these terms that you see, and talk about product differentiation, quality level, how well a product performs its core functions, product consistency, how reliable a product delivers its promised level of quality, backing up to product differentiation, the attributes that make a good or service different from other products that compete to meet the same or similar customer needs. You know, when you compare, I don't know, one car brand against the other. Again, this is in chapter 12. You want to be familiar with these terms. Uh, Promotion, influencing consumer decision. Promotion, marketing communication designed to influence consumer purchase decisions through information, persuasion, and reminders. We're surrounded by that, aren't we? In the world of marketing and products. You know, the promotion mix, advertising, sales promotion, public relations, personal selling. I'm going to go ahead and address our last two chapters here, chapter 13 and then 14. Distribution, pricing, right product, right person, right place, right price. Chapter 13 opens up by talking about the distribution strategy, a plan for delivering the right product to the right person at the right place at the right time. And you want to go into chapter 13 and get to know these terms, be familiar with them. Retailers, distributors that sell products directly to the ultimate users, typically in small quantities that are stored and merchandised on the premises. And wholesalers, distributors to buy products from producers, distributors that buy products from producers and sell them to other businesses. Again, I'm just going over a lot of written words here that you want to go ahead and read in your text in chapter 13. Talks about physical distribution. That's mainly the world of logistics, right? Physical distribution. You have a supply chain management, or SCM, and logistics, a subset of supply chain management that focuses largely on the tactics involved in moving products along the supply chain. Okay, in our last chapter that we're going over, chapter 14, which is probably one of the best chapters, it's our last one. Management, motivation, and leadership, bringing business to life. Management is achieving the goals of an organization through planning, organizing, leading, and controlling organizational resources, including people, money, and time, right? You've got what makes up management. You've got top management, middle management, and first line supervisor management. Many of you are probably working with first line management. What are the skills that someone should have as a manager? You still need technical skills. You got to know what your workers are doing and how to do it. Human skills, the ability to work effectively with and through other people in a range of different relationships, and conceptual skills, the ability to grasp a big picture view of the overall organization. Okay, having the big picture in mind. There's a lot of different theories. You'll want to go ahead and read these about Maslow's hierarchy of needs and theory X and theory Y. You want to read about that. What is that? You might hear that slang being used as, oh, oh, he's the Theory X manager, or he's Theory Y. Maslow's hierarchy of needs has been around, my goodness gracious, 50, 60 years. But it talks about those are the steps of physiological safety, social esteem, and self actualization from bottom to top, the part of the pyramid. That those one needs really have to be made before the next need is. So the safety needs have to be made first before social or belonging. You go to a new job, you got to know that you're in a safe neighborhood before you worry about what organization to join, etc. Theory X has to do with it's different leadership style. Basically, Theory X is they really don't have a good feeling about workers, and that they feel that workers really need to be managed tough to do their jobs, whereas Theory Y is uh, a stronger belief in workers and them doing their work. You want to read about the different kinds of planning: strategic planning, tactical planning, operational planning, and contingency planning. Read about that in chapter 14. And then you talk about in that area, talking about evaluate a company evaluating their competitive position. This is usually done by creating what's called a SWOT analysis, not SWOT analysis, but SWOT. And it measures an organization in terms of their internal strengths and weaknesses and external opportunities and threats. You'll usually see this drawn up on a board in a quadrant, in a square, where the strengths and weaknesses are one side and the opportunities and threats are on the other. And what do you do as objectively as you can? You tie a value to that. We're competing for a contract and we're doing a SWOT analysis. Do we have what it takes to win the contract? And it's good to talk about weaknesses, because then you know what you got to do to correct it, right? To take care of the weaknesses. No, we don't have the right people on board, but let's get the right people on board. That mitigates the weakness. Again, I'm just looking at chapter 14 here. A good chapter for you to go over and read, to go over and get to know. Um, this wraps up our chapters 11, 12, 13, and 14 for our last week. Okay, class ends Thursday. Again, if you have any issues or problems, questions, again, please reach out to either your advisor or me or someone. Don't sit on it and wait till the last second. I want to wish everyone a good rest of the week, and I'll post your grades as soon as possible. Again, give me a call, send me an email if you got any questions. Have a good one. Bye bye now.